Welcome back. So last time we did a bit of a structural setup near our iron field. Everything unwelded at that time, and in the meantime, since the last episode, I did a bit of mining, resource production, and also welded up most of the blocks over there with a couple remaining. So let's see what we can still put into our rover. A couple of metal plates would be also good to have. And let's head over there and finish the remainder of the blocks that we needed. And also see what we do with the actual resource collection. Drills or drone or whatnot. We would probably start with a simple drill and then build design a drone and replace that all with a custom drone that is automated. So what we have so far is, first of all, a welded up building. It's, well, similar to what you already saw in the last episode. I haven't configured anything, but we will get to that in a moment. We have our refinery here that we can run up to. I still want to add some walkways so that we can access the upper controls. Maybe starting from over here, because we already have a good access way from here. I've welded up the two batteries so that we have a bit of power storage. There's no lights yet, something that I want to change. And I had to do a small change compared to the last episode, where we had a direct straight line from that wall connecting into that pipe. It's now cut, as you can see, because it needs to go up. And then through a sorter into the ores container, because we need to make sure that we can only insert ores into the specific containers that can collect ores, and the only item that can be pulled out of that, and also only pulled out, nothing sent back, is ores. That is attached to our refinery. The refinery will pull the ores in, process them, and then we have another sorter that is pulling out ingots and moves them into the storage container, which has an access port at the top of the base for a pickup drone later on. There's also a side attachment with another sorter. This one will be sorting out any gravel, which we can configure now since we're already here. Gravel, we only want to whitelist gravel. And enable drain all, because we want to get rid of that stuff. And in here, this will be our sorter for ingots. Whitelist ingots and drain all. And then we have our sorter here for ores. Actually, we don't even have to change anything. This can be, well, ores output. Let's give it a proper name after all. This will not need any changes because it just makes sure that we cannot insert anything but only pull it out. So that can already stay the way it is. And now let's see, do we have something configured? Yes. Let's weld up those remaining 3 blocks. Grab some resources. We might need to do another run. It looks like we weren't able to collect everything. No, we did. Okay, then this will be ores input. We set it to drain all and whitelist ores. And while we're at it, we can also what's the English word? Scrap metal. Yes, this is something I want to allow as well, and stone. Add that as well. So everything that can be refined will go in there. Then yeah, we have that welded up. We have that welded up, the drone part. So this one will be ingots out, drain all, whitelist ingots. Still near enough. And that will give us access to our ingots. Alright. Yes. Then we have our vent here. This one will be used to depressurize the whole area. That can stay as it is. But the other one we will need to basically, well, depressurize so that we can pull air into the building. And then we have also a little script here, a mod for automated closing and opening of doors. Let's get that at 1 meter range, so I don't have to toggle that manually every time. And that should... well, maybe we still have some leaks here. Leaks found, yeah, then please render them. Okay, let's try it this way. Where's our fan? This one is depressurize off, so that's the inside fan. Inside, outside. Find leaks. Ah, I knew it. Yeah, that was something I did expect, kind of. We need to find a way to actually seal that off properly. Oh well, let's see what can we do. We can remove the solar panel again, and let's get rid of both. I really hope that the solar panel might close that up. What we can try though is using the other solar panel, the color rainbow solar panel. It does look like it could seal up the area properly. If I would be able to place it though. Where can I place that? Interesting. This cannot be placed on the side. Okay. Huh. Alright, then different idea. We will add another short layer here. Let's try it like this. We need more steel. Right. And then we can use the half block to seal that off. And where would be a good place for our solar panels then? If we use the regular ones again, could place two of them right here next to each other. Not the nicest layout because of the connector, but one that I could live with. Could also place one here. And the other one block away. That might be also an option that I could live with. Actually, we don't even need to have those slopes. We can just use regular plates. I mean, air tightness isn't that much of a problem here, or that critical for us. Because we just wanted to work for us somehow, and so that the game doesn't complain. We're not gonna visit this place every couple of days anyway. So yeah, let's just top it all off with regular plates here. That will give us the air tightness that we need. We still have those two solar panels placed like this. So if we weld that up, and it's airtight. Nice. All right. Let's finish everything, welding everything up, and then continue configuration. Although there isn't much to configure. Just need more steel plates. The only thing that is still missing is a bit of interior lighting, and making that also a bit more intelligent. I don't just want to have lights turned on all the time, especially in a remote facility like this that nobody will check in very often, or that won't be visited very often. I want to have that basically be an on-demand kind of setup in terms of power consumption for lights. Alright, well, still not the nicest layout in terms of placement of those solar panels, but nah. It's okay-ish. For the next iteration I will come up with a different idea. But now we should have air tightness here, which is useful when we have bad weather going out on outside. And next step is, first of all, we need more resources. Let's see. Only a couple of those, Actually, yeah, we can take everything of that type. Because what I want to add is a sensor. Oh, interior plate. I knew I was missing something. Like this. And then we need a couple of lights. So we have a very good way that is pointing straight down from here. Could we maybe... Ah, it's a half block. Of course, then we can't add any lights to this part. Okay, then let's do it in a different way. Instead, we will now start with building those walkways that I mentioned. In the right color, please. Over here, I want to have a... yeah, like a halfway, so that I can still access those panels and get over there. Let's see, what's the best way to do that? Actually, yeah, let's use this one. No, we need the other side, yes. Like that. And... No. No, that doesn't really work for me. If I place something like this over here, I can't access the control panel down below. So we will probably have to go with this. Then that. Next we will just do the railing, the double railing. Then another walkway. And a second one. And for this part, the halfways, the half walkways, or catwalks should work. And we can close that one up. A single railing. So that we can walk around here. We can still access those panels. We can move around here. We can access that panel and at the end of this route. And we can access that panel from over here, so we don't need to add anything. This is the only one that is a bit difficult to reach. Can we maybe do something with a... Oh, I need to eat something. Can we do something about that? Let's see. We do have staircases, right? Yeah, we do. So if I use this on this side, that would work. And then we can use again, let's see, this one to close off the area so nobody can fall down, you know, for safety reasons, to secure your workplace. And then we can also completely get rid of this one. And replace it with a flat... Not flat, we just need the walkway that has one railing on one side. That should be good. This way we can get up here. We still need a catwalk over here to... Ah no, we can't add a catwalk on that place. Okay. We can get up here and access that panel. That's fine. I'm fine with that, yeah. Okay, let's weld that part off as far as we can, which isn't that much because I didn't take any of the proper parts with me for this. Right, we also need to close that area off. Nobody should fall down there. Ah, which we can't because of the fan. We could replace that with a full block though. Let's keep it as it is for now. Fill up our supplies. Eat a bite. Then take whatever we can from here. I don't want to hear you anymore. Thank you. Alright. So, now again, light. We want to have a bit of light in this space and area. Well, yeah, exactly. So things like that do not happen too often, or shouldn't happen too often. Let's see, what can we do here? And I could, of course, use the trover lights and just insert them into the ceiling. That might be a good option. One that I might even do here. Let's actually do that, yeah. Yeah, I know, inventory is full. So, do you orient it like this, or rather like that? Yeah, let's follow the catwalk direction. And other than that, we need one construction components, I'm missing. Okay. Did we weld up any construction? Yeah. Okay. Here we can probably just place a Regular wall light. Where is it? Interior light. Let's set that to intensity 2 and radius 5. Already gives us a good amount of light. This one I want to have intensity also 2 and radius, let's say 5. No, not respawn. 7 maybe? Yeah, that looks good. Do we need another one over here? Actually, can we place one over here? I don't think so. Not only the tropholite. And same over here. What kind of wall is that? Half-light armor block. If I use the tropholite there, it will probably have, yeah, a very different outside texture, so that doesn't make sense for us. But we can maybe... Right, we could use a tropholite in this block space. So, tropholite it is. Let's do it the same way as the other. And finally, for this space here, which we probably won't visit very much or very often, let's just add oh yeah, missing construction component, of course. Okay, I guess we need to build some more construction components to finish all of that off. What can we actually weld up? Not that much. Yeah. Okay. Should be enough for now. Yeah, let's get over there and to our base and refill our components so that we can finish that part off. Be right back. Alright, we are back at our mining base. Got a couple more resources now. Let's see if that is enough to weld everything up. I do hope so. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, that part is still missing. We're also missing a little bit. That was already welded up. Okay. Yeah, let's take those and then... What else? A couple of steel plate, a lot of construction components, a bit of glass. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. I still don't know if I want to change that to a full block here, but no, and we don't have access to that light here in the ceiling. Okay. Intensity 2 and radius, let's say 8. And we still need some light at the bottom here. It does look interesting with the green lighting, but Let's use some ceiling light maybe over here. And intensity again 2. Radius, let's go with 4. And here let's go with 10. Does it make things better? Slightly. Okay, we still need sunlight here. I think that is still too dark and can use some more lighting. Radius 5, intensity 2. Alright, so access terminal. All of that will be basically our mining facility. Yeah, let's use that prefix. Okay, everything that is a light combined. Mining facility lights. Miss anything? No, that looks good because it's dark. Then we don't need our door here in the view. And the solar panels renamed. Don't show them. Battery 2, battery 1, fans can be kilowatts of power. Okay, let's go on with the configuration. So I want to see the sensor range of the sensor, and let's put that on the back side, back extend, not to 0, but to something like, yeah, 5 I think was good. Then left side, I don't know how much space we actually need, but let's see, to the left side, ooh, we need much less. Maybe go with 10 and then check what that covers. 10 looks like a very good value because it's just the edge of that area. Okay. Same on the other side. 10 bottom. Just need to cover the ground floor where we're standing on. That can be a bit more. Guess it needs to be 5 again. No, it's 4 is already good. Okay. Then to the top. How far does it extend at the moment? It already goes into the ceiling. So I guess we could even reduce that. How about also using 4 here? Well, that misses parts of that. Okay, then we stay with 5. And front is the most important one right now. I guess 10 is the minimum that we will need. I assume much more here. Let's go with front. Let's go with 16. bit more. About 18. That covers it. Alright, with that we have the whole room covered, and we can now change it to detect players. The rest we don't care for. Neutral, enemy we don't want. Friendly yes, owner yes. And no sound, and show HUD can be turned off. And now we will simply turn on detection and turn off not detected our lights. And I'm tempted to use the same for the fans. So let's try that. Yeah. So if we go outside, that is turning off. Once we get near that, it turns on. Let's get vented or pressurized, and all the lights are on. And if we're outside, it's all off and we don't consume any power for that stuff. Nice. That's what I wanted. We have our gravel chute here, although this one needs to be configured to collect all yes, throw it on. And we don't want to see that anywhere because we don't need to, and this is gravel exhaust. Gosh, gravel. Yeah. Output? I don't know. Use parking? No, we don't need any magnetic strength, and then we can ignore that for anything else. This will be our drone port. Actually, drone connector. That's the one at the top that you can see shining through here. The gravel sorter and all the other sorters were configured, so we can hide them from our menus. Refinery can stay. The containers I don't want to see in the toolbar and also not in the terminal, just in the inventory screen. The sensor we don't need to see anymore. Battery can be a single one. Fans we don't need to see. And that's it for now. Okay. Now at the back side, where we want to do our drilling. Let's see. For a mining drone, what I usually do is have a docking port from the top facing downwards, so that the mining drone is coming along and connects from the bottom. This time around, I wanted to try something else, where it's docking from the top down. So that will be basically going out and then slightly up, so that you can dock from the top. I haven't tried that so far yet, but want to give it a go. But for the start, we will just go with a fixed drill setup here. So actually no. We need to take some resources with us to plan everything. So we have that. Next up we would need, let's say we use a hinge. Because then we can swivel that around left and right. From there on we will just go... Yeah, let's just go straight ahead from there. This won't be running forever, it's just for a while. so that we can get some resources into our system. And then, of course, a piston, for which we don't have enough space in the vertical axis, of course. So what should we do instead? Or we really go for the drone? So let's see. If we do that, we need to go up one and have a connector over here.
Fuel critical.
Recharge. Eat a snack. And weld up. As far as we can, because we're apparently missing some resources. Which we don't have with us. Yeah. Okay, then let's head back to base and do the drone design over there. Now, do we have enough to place? No. So to prevent any kind of wobbling around when trying to build from a connector, the easiest way is to just disable the gravity setting. And then it's just staying there. And then we can switch the lock and start building our drone from that. So let's see, what kind of resources do we have in the rover? Because I would like to pull everything out there, put it into the base and use the base as our storage for this build. So it is a bit easier to do all of this from here instead of building it in that location on site. Especially when we run out of resources and need to rebuild or produce things. Why is that putting that into the rover cockpit? Are all our containers full? No, they're not. Again, how do those end up in here? I don't get it. Okay, eat a snack, and oh, that is a bit misaligned. Doesn't matter, works either way. So we need enough space for it to be able to dock, and we also need resources in our hands to actually build or plan everything. So we take a bit more of those resources, that some more steel plates, because 11 won't be enough, not nearly enough. Handful of construction components can be useful, because in the end, for placing or for pre-planning any kind of build, those three are the most common ones. So that's a good starting point. Alright, how do we want to do this? First of all, I want to add a conveyor junction to give a bit of space to the top. Then... no, actually, I can do that a bit more intelligently with a small or medium container. That way we already add storage for this. And yeah, let's not go with a big one right away, but instead use 2 medium containers. Then we need a bit of space here. And I see we need also something else. We need to start using hydrogen bottles, because I can't stay in the air long enough with just a single one. So, fill this up, please. Okay. Thank you. Okay. And now I forgot how I placed them, which way around. It's okay. We can go from here to the top, just in case. Make a connection like this, and then maybe one out. I've never tried to design a drone like that, so bear with me. Tools. Let's go with the drill directly. This way we don't have to switch it up every time. So if we have a drill like that and a drill like that, it gives us just enough space to do the docking procedure. It should be fine. But we will also need something here on the middle side, or between them. And for that I would say go like this. What's the right attachment point that we need here? That might work. I mean, it's ugly, but it's a start. Then we replicate the same setup on the other side. And another drill. And another drill, and another drill. And then we have our round of drills, and I really hope that is enough to dig down and not get stuck with the connector in the middle. That's something that we need to try later on. So, yeah, let's continue with a battery, because of course we need power. Actually, is one enough? Let's see, we might need to stack another one on top. And what we are also missing, of course, is thrusters. Atmospheric thrusters, not the hydrogen ones. And yeah, let's try to go with... do we use the big ones? Do we use the small ones? Small ones might be safer with the distance. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be safer. I'm just not sure how many we need, to be honest.
Fuel low.
Oh yeah, fuel low, of course. So let's recharge our... refill our bottle. Then we will need thrusters in this direction. Which we can actually place here. To this way. And to that way. And then... Yeah, why not? Let's get rid of these thrusters here. I have to admit I'm never using any thruster calculation sites or scripts. Just going by gut feeling here when designing those. Worked most of the time so far. Actually, we could also just put more of the upwards thrusters in here. Oh, where did that get placed now? That means we can get rid of 8 more. So, 1, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we can get rid of those 2. We can just put them... Let's see. Can we add more here? No. Can we add some here? We can... Maybe... No, that doesn't fit in this place. Maybe 8 are already enough, we will see. So we have both directions. We have upwards. We don't have downwards because that's gravity taken care of, or for us. And we have containers, we have drills. We need a bit of machine, or not machinery, but control structures. So gyros and cockpit. Let's start with a cockpit. I want to use for a drone usually the helm. I think that's a good choice for a drone because it doesn't need to be a very big controlling unit. And gyro, can we just place one? Could place one just here, around here. Or maybe for the fun of it. In here. So what else is missing? We have thrust, we have control, we have power, we have storage, we have tools. Then, to make this a drone working with the PEM AutoMiner script, we need a couple more blocks. First of all, we need a remote control block facing the right direction that we also will control the drone. Then a programmable block that is holding the script, of course. And what is also useful to have is a sensor block, which will help us to define our mining area. And finally, a antenna. And just for the flare, an an detector. Alright, then the only thing missing now is... which one do we use? One forward-facing floodlight and 2 down-facing ones. It should give us a bit of light. Yeah.
Fuel low.
Okay. And now comes the difficult part. We need to weld everything up. So for that I will fast forward a bit, because I will probably also need to collect resources, and yeah. See you in a bit. Alright, everything has been welded up, so now it's time for a first test ride. Let's see if all of that was a waste of time, or if it was something that can be used by us. But first of all, connector. This is the connector of the drill drone. So let's set that to... oh, first, even more important, battery. How much capacity does it have? Or not capacity, but how much is stored already? Okay. Let's recharge that a little bit more and give it a test flight. Oh well. Let's do it right away because I'm impatient. At least it can fly. That's something already. We will probably have to add another battery because going into 2 directions at once is draining the battery quite a lot. Let's try to enable our drills. Just a quick setup. Because we need to find out if the middle part will be drilled or not. That's what I feared. There's like a spike or pillar remaining, and I'm not sure if going slower will be enough to... Nope, that doesn't help. Nah, we already loaded too much. So let's see, can we get rid of some of the material? Collect all and throw out. Okay. Okay, but thrust might be enough for that capacity of the drone, but we need to add another battery, and then it will get heavier anyway, so we can also, just in case, add 4 more thrusters. But the thing is, we will need to move some of the drills a bit closer to make sure that we can actually reach the middle part that is currently blocking our connector. Do we have enough space to do that, though? Yeah, I think so. It should be possible. Okay. But that works. Alright, I count that as a semi-success. Still a little bit to do. I might do that off screen to prepare for the next episode, so that we have a working drone available and can get everything set up and running, so that we get our first automated production of, in this case, iron running, and finally have enough stuff to get our base into a better shape, because it's still quite a mess. I would probably get rid of everything here except maybe for the solar panel, and then build out a proper living room and control center and factory and so on. But and we will need a drone hub where all the drones can reside in or dock to. And yeah, that's something for next time. So thanks for watching, and see you back in space.